Hello, this is Mark Dempsey with the National Convergence Technology Center. This short webinar will explain our job skills worksheet. We sometimes call that Excel worksheet the KSA list or the KSA worksheet. This is a list of entry-level IT job skills as validated and updated by our national build each summer. We've had a few questions about how to use this worksheet, so hopefully this webinar will answer those questions. Remember that the goal in all of this is to make sure your curriculum aligns with what businesses want so graduates can get hired. That's why we engage our business and industry experts. We validate job skills once a year. For the CTC, that meeting, which we call the KSA meeting for knowledge, skills, and abilities, KSA, happens in early May. We spend 4 to 6 hours going through the list of line by line, asking our build to identify the KSAs they want to see in new hires. From there, the faculty uses those recommendations to make sure everything's getting covered. If something is missing, the faculty then decides how best to address the gaps. Let's do a quick recap of how we got to the worksheet. At the KSA meeting in May, there are specific roles. We have the facilitator, who keeps things on track and makes sure all the build voices in the room are heard. We have the recorder, who's tallying up the votes and updating the KSA worksheet in the room in real time. We have the build serving as subject matter experts. And we have the faculty attending as active listeners. The goal of the KSA meeting is to give the employers an open forum. We want to avoid being sidetracked by course and curriculum discussions. Here you can see a vote taking place with raised hands. In the left photo, you can see the KSA worksheet projected on the screen for everyone to see. In the right photo there, you can see Christina sitting at the laptop, counting votes and updating the KSA worksheet. Note that in addition to the vote tally, the worksheet also gives the build the chance to add comments and details to further explain their needs. More on that in a moment. Here's how the vote works. Employers rank each K on a scale of 1 to 4. 4 means a topic must be included in the curriculum. 3 means it really should be included if at all possible. 2 means it would be nice to have it included. And 1 means you can discard it. Consensus here is not the goal. That's why we do the votes and then calculate the average. And we remind the build that they're evaluating these skills based on what an IT-level worker, entry-level worker, coming out of the program 12 to 36 months in the future will need to know. The KSA worksheet tries to look ahead. Now let's look at the actual KSA worksheet itself. There are 5 sections. The KSA number, we currently have 17 Ks and then 7 more Cs, certifications the build believes we have value. The actual name of the knowledge, skill, and ability. A topics column that provides detailed explanations and comments for each respective K. The votes column, how many voted for each number, plus the average. And a new feature that aligns each K with the CISSP domains. For those who don't know, CISSP is Certified Information Systems Security Professional, an independent security certification granted by the International Information Systems Security Certification Consortium. Wow. Here's what the worksheet looks like. Let's go one by one here. So the KSA numbers go down the side on the far left there in yellow. For us, it's 1 through 17. When we first started this many, many years ago, there were dozens and dozens of Ks. Each skill had its own line. Our national build decided to make things simpler by grouping the KSAs together into larger knowledge areas. That's why they're just 17 now. The next column shows the name of each KSA row by row from 1 all the way down to 17. Next is the topics column, which goes into more detail about the specific skills and topics of that K. This is the place where the build can insert additional details and comments about each K row. Now in this section, you see the tallying of the votes. For example, here for K1, Linux, Unix, OS, you can see that 8 build members voted 4, and 2 others voted 3. So the average for that row was 3.8. Likewise, K2, Windows Servers OS, got 404 votes and 62 votes for an average of 3.4. So this group collectively found Windows Server OS to be slightly less essential than Linux, Unix OS. In this last column, our build decided to align each KSA row to the CISSP domains to further emphasize the ongoing importance of teaching security skills to students. So what happens next? Ideally, you'll use this spreadsheet as a template with your own local build. It's a great tool that adds order and structure to the job skills meeting. You end up with an actionable document rather than long paragraphs and bullets of meeting minutes. So make this spreadsheet your own. Let your build add to it, subtract from it, host your own vote. Your local builds will have needs that may not match the feedback and votes provided by our national build. And remember also that we strongly encourage you to do the voting in the room in real time, rather than doing it asynchronously with surveys and emails. There's a lot of value to be had in those in-person discussions and debates of the KSAs. You and your educators, colleagues should hear that. The last step is to share the results of the KSA meeting with your faculty to make sure everything your build wants is covered in the curriculum. And if you want an Excel version of the KSA worksheet that you can actually edit, let us know if we can send it to you. Just a couple of resources to remind you about. We have a new two-sided brochure that provides a quick overview of Built Essentials and why it all works. And our Executive Director, Anna Healer, recently recorded a 1-hour webinar on the Built Basics. Both are available via those bit.ly web addresses. And remember also, you can always email us with questions. Thank you for your time.